Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another What Grinds My Gears episode here with Moto-Tech. All right, I'm doing a live video and then I'm going to post it up just because I just don't want to do all the transfer and everything. I'm just really busy today. Had a couple interviews. I'm hoping somebody might be interested in working. I should hear back in just hopefully in a week or so. Might have some more help here to start getting more work out faster here, which is that storm really put everything behind, and plus all the other events going on and everything, they did make it a little bit more hectic here. So I am working on a few things here. Finding engines for people is starting to get more and more dwindling, in the sense that there's not a lot of good ones out there, especially for much older bikes. There are some very, very popular bikes that are older that people are looking for engines everywhere. So we are trying to find them. If not, then we're going to start rebuilding them here again soon. We try not to rebuild a lot of engines here just because they're so time consuming, and the book hours on them, people just don't like to hear the amount of money it costs to rebuild an engine from the ground up based on book hours. All right, so which leads me to some other stuff here at What Grinds My Gears. All right, timelines, yes. My timelines are tentative. So if I tell you 2 to 3 weeks before I can look at it, it's 2 to 3 weeks before I can look at it. I might try to get in between. If it's something simple, I think it might be, I can try to work it in there. But I will tell you that if you call, text, Skype, Snapchat, Brembo, I don't know, there's so many different things out there. If you send me a message saying, hey, I have this problem, I don't know what it is, can you fix it for me? More than likely, yes. I give you a 99% chance that I can fix it. Now, there's a couple things I haven't been able to fix, and I outsource it to another, someone else that has more experience. And those are usually the older bikes. I do a lot of vintage work here, but some of the older ones, there are some things I do, that doesn't work in the service manual or I haven't seen. So I like to get an outside, help on that one. But please don't call me and tell me, hey, when I tell you it's 2 to 3 weeks before I look at it, and then you're telling me, hey, I need you to look at it today and it's got to be out by tomorrow. Well, even if I looked at it today and we have to order parts, there's no way I can get all your parts in by tomorrow. It's just not going to work that way. I understand it's your only vehicle out there, but we're still a shop here. We have other people that are in front of you. We try to do the FIFA first in, first out kind of concept here, unless it's something simple where I can work in between. And unfortunately my phone's tied to this thing, so it keeps popping up on there. But please don't call me and tell me, hey, you need it by tomorrow, which, tire, oil change, things like that I can do. But if it's something serious where your bike won't run at all, or it's making clanking sounds, and it might be a top end rebuild, and I tell you, hey, it's going to be a couple weeks, don't get angry, don't get fussy, and don't start yelling on the phone that, what kind of shop are you if you can't get work turned out by tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. Call Halls, call, Mort's, call anybody else out there. And heck, call some of the guys that are working out at their house that do work. There's no way that they're going to get a valve job, a valve replacement done by tomorrow. Like if you drop it off at 4 o'clock this afternoon, at 9 o'clock tomorrow, there's just no way we're doing valve work. It's just, and you can't get the parts in time. So, and if you start doing that, I will hang up on the phone. I just don't have time to hear someone gripe and yell that I can't get a piston ring done within 4 hours after they drop it off here. That's just not fair to my other customers, and it's just impossible. I don't carry a lot of parts. Now, if they have someone have parts, and there was a shop that had carried parts all day long, and they had 20 techs on hand, maybe, yes. All right, so that's one of my grind my gears. The other thing is, please don't call me at 5 in the morning. I've already shut my phone off when it comes to 6 p.m. in the evening until 7 a.m. the next morning. I've already I've shut off my forwarding, because I get people calling 7, 8 times back to back to back at 2 in the morning. Hey man, how's my bike doing? I know I dropped it off at 5 p.m. before you closed, but hey, did you find out anything on my bike? I closed at 5 p.m. Why would I work on your bike at 2 in the morning? So if you guys call me in the evening times, unfortunately, it's going to go straight to my voicemail right over here, and I will get to them in the morning when I get back in. All right. So I do try to help out as best I can. Unless you're a good friend of mine and you have my personal cell, then I'll answer that one. But otherwise, customers out there, I'm sorry, but I don't give my cell phone out to everybody, and for that reason alone. All right. I mean, you wouldn't believe how many texts and phone calls I get between the hours of 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. asking updates. How much is this a tire? How much? My other best ones are, hey, the bike won't run. I started it and I drove it and it shut itself off, and I don't know what happened. How much would it be to fix it? I don't know. I haven't looked at it. How can I tell you what to fix? Well, my buddy told me that my valve cover gasket is causing my bike not to start. How much for a valve cover gasket? Well, one, I'm not going to quote you how much a valve cover gasket is, because if you tell me your buddy told you your valve cover gasket is shutting your bike off right there on the spot, I'm going to tell you, hey, we need to look at it before we start ordering parts, because one, I don't want you guys ordering parts. That is the fastest way to spend more money on a bike, is by throwing parts at it instead of finding out what the actual issue is with that bike. So I'm not going to let you do that, because that's ludicrous. All right. So, but yeah, call me at 2 a.m. saying, hey, my bike won't start because I put a chain on it and now my bike don't start. At 2 a.m, guys, that's why I shut my phone off. All right. So other than that, we got a lot of awesome stuff. I mean, we are slam packed in here. I am still slammed. I mean, I'm trying not to turn into a dealership here with long wait times and all, but man, there's only so much room in here and only so much work I can do in a day. I mean, I bounce from 2 or 3 different items per day trying to get them done. Like today, I have a dirt bike engine to rebuild here in just a few minutes. So I got to finish that up. I'm already on the bottom and done. I just got to get the top end done, time in, and hopefully get it to start. And also a customer pick it up and take it off to Texas with them. Other things is when you bring bikes in from other shops, other people that have worked on it, and all, we do the work that we see, and then because it doesn't work, and then when we get all that work done and we turn it over, and then we find out the fuel pump's bad, and then we pull the fuel pump, we find out that the fuel pump is in pieces, meaning that whoever had it before or the guy that sold it to you or whatever literally disassembled the fuel pump and took the pump out of it, and that's why it's not running at all, kind of thing. That's miserable to find out. I mean, that's like some things we just don't do. We just don't pull fuel pumps, and if we can get it to run like and we can hear it, and then we can actually start diagnosing, pulling diagnostic codes up and all, and it says SDVA sensor bad. Well, that's the computer telling me the SDVA sensor is bad, so we replace that. Doesn't run. We pull the fuel tank. As we start to move the fuel tank more, now you got fuel pouring out of the fuel pump, and I was like, wow, that's an O-ring right there. That's your fuel pump O-ring that's not sealing up and it's allowing fuel to go through it. So we order an O-ring, we open, and then we pull the fuel pump out. We find out the pump's missing, or there's pieces of the pump missing, or even better, the connectors are rusted off. Or when we pull the pump number, we pull the part number off there, it's not even the right pump for the fuel pump or for the bike. It's like either they've swapped it out for someone else, or you just had the wrong one in all this time when you bought it, kind of thing. So, I mean, we do have to do follow-on diagnostic. It's not the same thing there. The other thing is we do have diagnostic fees here. All right. So if I have to take my time to pull it up on the lift, spend an hour to figure out what the issues is, and I call you what the issues are, and you're like, okay, I'll just come pick it up. I don't want to spend any money on this bike. Well, it's $89 diagnostic fee. Don't get mad if there's an $89 diagnostic fee. I mean, I just spent an hour of my time looking to tell you what the problem is, and then I tell you what the problem is. And I already know what happens. Either A, you're going to sell the bike and not tell anybody else what's wrong with it. B, you're going to take it to someone else. Or C, you're going to fix it yourself, which, anyway, I'm all about people that know how to work on their own bikes. I mean, I wish more people knew how to do the basic maintenance out there, like adjusting a chain, which I'm going to do a class tomorrow. I'm going to do another What Grinds My Gears episode on how to do chain adjustments. All right, because everybody needs to know how to do this. You wouldn't believe how many people ride in here with the chain so loose that as you start the bike, the chain pops off the sprocket. They have to stop and they have to hook it back on there, and then they just keep going that way. And it's not even a fully stretched out chain. It's just that they just never adjusted the chain, and the chain just stretches on its own naturally on that little bit. So, but I'll do that. So other than that, one last thing. If I work on your stuff and I give you a list of everything that's wrong with this bike, and then you're like, you know what, I don't want to fix it. I'm just going to sell it to the next guy and let him deal with this problem. I am a very upfront, honest person. If I sold something, I will tell whoever I sell, what the issues are that I consciously know of. Okay, what you do is you. All right. There's super honest people out there, and there are people out there that won't even tell you that you have, burnt, you have ring problems and you're burning smoke and all, or they have valve issues, or they have radiator leaks and they put a radiator stop leak in there or something, or head gaskets are blown, they're putting head gasket stop leaks, stuff like that in there. They won't tell you that. But if you bring a bike here and I worked on it and somebody else wants to buy it, I morally, ethically, and legally cannot tell somebody else what is wrong with that bike if it's in that person's name, the other person's name. Now, if they sold the bike to someone and they brought it in, I'm like, oh, yeah, I know this bike. I've seen it before, and I give them a list of everything that's wrong with this bike as I look at it, because I do your guys' first initial buy inspections. They're $50. You bring it in, I tell you almost everything that's wrong with the bike, other than tearing anything apart. All right, and I tell them all the stuff that I found that's wrong with this bike as I look at it. Do not get mad at me. All right, you're the one that should have told them everything. They brought it to me as a new customer and asked me for a full diagnostic on the bike. I give them everything on there. If they get mad because they bought that bike for $4,000 and you didn't tell them that it needs another valve job or piston rings or whatever on there, that's not my fault. I just do my job as over here, just giving you guys the information you need. But if it is your bike and you bring a friend here to look at the bike, I morally, ethically, and legally cannot tell them what's wrong with that bike. So you don't have to worry about me telling them everything that we found, because you're trying to make the most money off your bike. All right. Which leads me to the very last issue. I know I always say last, and I just keep adding that last to it. All right. Bike value. That is huge around here in Mobile and probably in the surrounding area there. I mean, I deal with bikes for sale all over the U.S. here, okay? Your bike is a 2002 GSX-R 600. I guess I used the word clapped out like most people would use here. It is in the worst case scenario that bike is on its last legs, and you're trying to sell it for $6,000. Whoever buys that bike, please understand what Blue Book value is. So yes, you can go on KVB and a KVB motorcycle, and it'll tell you that 2002 GSX-R 600 is worth $2,800. 60% of that is roughly what you're going to get out of that bike. Okay, that is probably the most you'll get out of the bike, unless you find someone that does absolutely no idea what they're buying and they just give you full value for it, not understanding all the issues. Which also leads to the other thing. Just because you put on, Vortex sprockets, Regina chain, you put on a K&N air filter, you just had the oil change done, quote unquote oil change just recently done. You put on a slip-on exhaust on there. You put an HID system on there. That doesn't mean that your $2,800 valued bike on KVB is now worth $6,000. Sorry, add-ons you put on your bike, you normally do never get money back out of. Okay, just because you put on a $2,000 Sparks full titanium exhaust on that bike doesn't mean that your bike is now valued $2,000 more than what KVB is. That's because you chose to put it on there. The other person may not want that. It just comes with the bike kind of thing. So do not get upset if you have a $2,800 KVB Blue Book value bike and someone offers you $1,200 for it. All right, because that's usually how it goes. All right. Now there are some rarities that you may have a bike that someone who really wants because that is like their dream bike, or it's a bike that they grew up with, all this other stuff, and they're going to pay you $3,000 instead of $2,800 just for that bike. But your bike values, you guys really got to start learning how to do bike values and all if you want to sell them, because there is a ton of bikes out there that I see in Mobile that are for sale that nobody's ever bought. I mean, it's been on sale for a year or two, but they're asking 40 to 80% over Blue Book value on it. Now, if you have a drag bike or a fully built race bike, things like that, yeah, you can ask for a little bit more than the premium on there because you have top-end items on there, or it's a very specific type bike. I mean, it is a specialty bike, yes, you're going to make, or if it's a vintage bike that is very rare to find, yes, it's going to be worth more. But a 2002 Gixxer 600 and with 40-something thousand miles on it or 50,000 miles on there with rattling sounds coming on top, it is not worth $2,800, guys. All right, not to 85% of the populace. There's 15% out there that probably just buy it just to get it. But I just wanted to let you guys know. So other than that, I hope you guys all have a great day. Hi Jarrett, hi Brad, hello Malik, hi Jesselyn, hi Jared. I see everybody that just logged in and said and are all watching everything. So Hope you guys have a great day. It is, well, it's only Tuesday. I thought it was Wednesday. My birthday's in a couple days. Or is today Wednesday? I don't even know. What's today? Today's Tuesday. So my birthday's on the 2nd. So I got 3 more days till my birthday. I will be open on my birthday, but I will be leaving at 4 o'clock, so early, so I can go get my kids so I can enjoy it this weekend. And also, as you can see, I'm getting older as we go. You know, the shop gets me grayer and grayer every time. So, but otherwise, I hope you have a great week, and stay tuned for the chain adjustment video. Cheers, guys.